Beginning our practice now, find a comfortable seat so that you can pause and drop into your breath. Maybe one hand on belly, one hand on space around the heart. Your breath is your most powerful and accessible tool. Find breathing space. Take a deep breath in through your nose and a slow breath out through your nose. The quality of your breath will tell you exactly what you need to know about your interior state. And just stay here, continuing to deepen your breathing, noticing your thoughts, noticing how slowing down your breathing affects your thoughts and the frequency in which they move through your mind. Keep coming back to this one pointed focus, the quality of your breath. Okay. We'll come forward onto our mat now, facing the front short edge of your yoga mat. Take your time to find a child's pose that works for you. You may want to use a yoga block or an extra folded towel or blanket for support. You can lower your forehead onto the mat or that support. Knees wide, seat lowers towards heels. Perhaps you're reaching the arms out in front of you. Beginning in child's pose, again finding our breath, noticing the spaces that rise and fall as you breathe. Maybe you're bringing your seat closer to your heels. Maybe you're moving your support from beneath your forehead. And just take a few more breaths here, reaching the arms even further forward if you'd like, to get a deeper stretch in the hands, the reach of the arms, shoulders, and upper back, as well as the breath in the lower space around your hips, the base of your spine. Okay. Now maybe look forward and lift your seat and come up onto your fingertips. The center of your palm lifts. Take an inhale and look forward to the front of the mat. Exhale, shift your hips, your seat back, forehead lowers. Do that a couple times. Really looking forward and lifting your whole torso on the in-breath, and then pulling back. Maybe your ears line up with the inner edges of your arms on the out-breath. You can stay right here, or look to your right and reach your arms out to your right, maybe off the mat. Again, look forward, inhale, exhale, shift back. Maybe you're feeling more of a stretch in the left side body. Again, you can stay on your fingertips. The center of the palm stays lifted. One more breath here if you'd like to. Maybe flatten the hands and stack them. Left over right. And again, pull back. A little bit deeper stretch into the left side body. That feels good. Stay for a full breath here. And then we'll look forward once more, reaching the arms to the front of the mat. Take an inhale and exhale. And then we'll do the other direction, reaching the arms out to the left. And just take a moment. Feel the reach that feels good for you. Taking the arms again to line up with the inner edges of the ears as you move with breath. And maybe you're taking another breath here, stacking the palms, and just bringing your right hand over your left, staying here for another full breath, reaching this time into the right side body. Maybe you're shifting your hips, your shoulders from side to side. Okay, back through center. Hands are now on the mat so that we can again take our reach of our chest back. One more breath here, and then we'll bring our palms flat onto the mat. Work the knees back in so that they're beneath the hips. Toes, ankles, knees line up. Take a moment to set that up, your lower body. And then we'll come into our puppy dog. Reach the arms further forward. Maybe again you're resting your forehead on a block or a support. Now with the reach of the arms further forward, the hips stay stacked over the knees. Maybe you're feeling a deeper reach into the upper back. The elbows can bend and the arms can fold. Just staying for a few breaths and noticing again the reach into the space behind the heart, the space in the back of the shoulders. Reach the arms out in front of you if they're not already. Forehead, chin, and chest come a little closer to the mat. We'll come out of puppy dog now. Go ahead and look forward to do that. Take your time. We'll lower the elbows, the forearms onto the mat, and walk our knees further behind the hips so that we can come down to our belly. Reach back through the legs, point out through the toes to the back of your mat. The elbows can walk a little further forward. Adjust the hands out wider if you like. Again, maybe you're resting your forehead on a block or a support. This is our Egyptian Sphinx pose. We want to feel the reach forward through our chest. Keep the chin more neutral, maybe closer towards your chest as you stay. Breathe into your lower back. Feel that especially delicious stretch into this nice healthy compression in the base of the spine. Now maybe you're lowering your forehead to rest on the stack of your palms. Elbows can be nice and wide, and you can stay here. If you'd like to join me, you can. Walk the arms out wider, again on fingertips. Elbows bent in line with the shoulders. Inhale, lift the chest, look forward. Exhale and lower. Again, you're on your fingertips and lifting the center of the palm. Do that again, inhale. But this time as you exhale, look to your right and lower your left shoulder. A couple times here. Inhale back through center. Exhale, look to your left and lower the right shoulder as you do. One more time in each direction. Feeling the reach more in the upper back as you look to your right. Inhale through center. Feeling the reach in the upper back as you look to your left. Back through center. We'll lower, forehead comes down a little closer to the mat. Plant the palms in near the sides of the rib cage, tuck your toes under. We'll come up using our hands and our knees. Exhale with the toes staying tucked under, reach your seat towards your heels. Maybe press your palms forward in a more active child's pose. Feel free to bring the hands together to the back of your neck or the space between the shoulder blades, the space around the back of your heart. Continue to find your breath. Okay, we'll reach the arms forward, back onto the mat. And just take a moment again, adjust the hips above the knees. But maybe the hand comes forward, one palm print each, getting a little bit more reach between the shoulders, the wrist, a little bit more distance between your wrist, your knees. And then we'll inhale, toes are tucked, lift the knees. Exhale, come into your first downward facing dog. You can reposition the placement of your feet, your hands. Take a moment to organize. Feel steady here. And then bend the knees and let your head reach down heavy. Maybe you're feeling a little bend in the elbows as well. Stay here, finding your breath, energizing now by maybe walking your dog, bending one knee at a time, pressing the opposite heel down. Keep your gaze back towards your toes or the back of the mat. Bending the knees helps you to find lots of space along the spine. Keep your heels elevated. Maybe you're pivoting your heels to the right with both knees deeply bent. Finding new spaces to breathe into. Come back through center with the heels. And then last time here, pivot your heels to the left, the opposite direction, still keeping those knees deeply bent. Back through center, downward facing dog. All right, take an inhale, bend the knees and look forward towards your hands, and then come forward now. Exhale, wave to your high plank. Inhale, high plank, maybe lift your feet one at a time to get more length in the legs. Exhale, lower knees and come down to your belly. One smooth move. Inhale, untuck the toes, press into the hands, lift into your first cobra. Elbows stay bent back toward the back of the mat. Exhale to lower. Tuck toes while inhale back up to hands and knees. And exhale back into your child's pose. Inhale, when ready, lift knees. Exhale to downward facing dog. Again, reposition hands, your feet till you feel steady. Bend the knees, bend the elbows, head drops heavy. You're again aligning your ears with the inner edges of the arms. Find the length in the back of your neck. Again, you can walk your dog by bending one knee at a time. And then we'll bend both knees deeply and pivot our heels, again, if that feels interesting. Reach your chest forward as though you're reaching your heart towards your thumbs. This is an inversion, your head, your heart lower than your hips. Just take another breath here. We'll look forward now, inhale, bending the knees. And then this time, exhale, take small steps. It doesn't matter which foot. Walk your feet forward, lift your hands, and we'll come into our first forward fold at the front of the mat. You can widen the distance between each foot. Take a look, your knees pointing in the same direction as your toes. And then just let yourself hang, literally hang out here, head heavy, arms reach down, surrendering this forward fold. You can rest your hands on blocks, or try this out. Grab hold of your upper arms, your elbows, with your hands. This allows the shoulders to get more of a rinse. Shoulders draw down heavy as well as the top of the head. Maybe you're gently swaying, noticing your weight evenly distributed beneath each foot. You can rock from heel to toe. And then again, let yourself fully surrender as though you're draping your chest over the top of your thighs. Bend the knees deeply. One more breath here. Maybe you're rooting and rising with the breath. All right, we'll bend the knees again even more so and rest our elbows, our upper arms, our forearms on our thighs. And then we'll come up slowly, root down, rise up, the arms circle up all the way to standing. Bring the palms together, then your thumbs towards your brow space, your lips, and finally rest around the space around your heart. We'll pause here in Tadasana, mountain pose. Come back to how you're breathing. Okay, hands reach beside. Inhale, reach the arms along the ears overhead. On the exhale, bend the elbows and pull the shoulders away from the ears. Do that one more time. Inhale, reach up, maybe look up as you do. Exhale, reach the arms out wide, thumbs down, palms face behind you, so that you can reach the arms towards the back of the body, maybe grabbing your elbows or your wrists with your hands, or somewhere in between. Lift your heart, inhale. Pull your chin, your belly in as you exhale. One more time like that. Root down through your feet, lift your heart, inhale. Again, pull belly towards spine as you breathe out. Maybe take your hands a little further back. Hands can interlace. Reach your knuckles towards the earth as you lift your heart. And then check it out on the exhale. Forward fold, leading with your heart. Knuckles toward the sky. Inhale, bend those knees, and this time reach the arms forward. See if you can again bring them along the ears. Exhale, sit back in your chair pose, knees deeply bent. Root down, rise up. Feel that rebounding effect as you press through your feet. Exhale, meet in Tadasana. We'll do that again. We'll add on. Inhale, circle the arms up, maybe look up. Exhale, stay standing, but reach the arms back behind you, and then find a hand placement that works for you. Lift your heart on the inhale, puff up the chest. Exhale again, lead with the heart, pull the navel towards spine to support you as you fold. Good, sit back in your chair pose, arms reach forward, take a peek, you should be able to see your toes. This time exhale, fold, head heavy, bring your hands down. Now step back one at a time, it doesn't matter which foot. Inhale into a high plank. Exhale, once you're in high plank, lower your knees and come back down to your belly. Unhook your toes, lift up into cobra. Again, the elbows bend back. Tuck the toes, lift up through hands and knees, or lift your knees in one smooth movement. High plank, Let's meet in downward facing dog. Adjust your feet position, your hands if you'd like. Always organizing so that you feel steady, and then stay another breath or two, maybe even coming down to child's pose if you prefer. All right, we'll do that again. Meet in downward dog, bend the knees, look forward, and then notice which foot you lead with as you walk your feet forward to your forward fold. And then hang out here. Lots of different variations in your forward fold. You can grab hold of your elbows or take your first two fingers and hook them around your big toes. Lift the chest on the in-breath. Pull the belly in, head towards the space between each foot on the out-breath. Let's do that for a few times here. See if you can find length in the back of the legs, length in the space in the back of the shoulders on the inhale. But don't forget, bend the elbows and the knees on the exhale. Surrender. All right, we'll unhook the toes. Come into that support with the elbows, the upper arms, and the forearms on the thighs. And then reach down, rise up, inhale. Exhale, meet in Tadasana once more. Standing fully. Rooting and rising, lift the heart. Inhale. Notice the rinse of the arms, the shoulders. Take the hands behind you. Exhale. Stay standing, root down, rise up. Inhale and fold once more in that exhale. Chair pose, Utkatasana. Bend the knees. You should be able to see the tips of your toes, maybe more weight through your seat if you need to. All right, we'll lower back down, hands come down. Again, notice which foot leads as you step back to high plank. Inhale here. You can always lower the knees or come on to the tips of your toes. Exhale, maybe Chaturanga Dandasana, this time lower halfway. Inhale to upward facing dog. Again, it could be cobra if you prefer. Use your knees or roll over your toes. Come back to downward dog. Maybe stay in child's pose. Let your breath determine where you should be right now. All right. Gather feedback. Downward dog or child's pose. Come back to that full breath in and out through the nose. Meet back in downward dog. Bend the knees, look forward toward the hands. We'll step, leading with one foot and then the other, noticing which foot leads the way. You can again grab the elbows or hook the fingers around the big toes. You have different options here. Forward fold to find length in the spine. Or lift one foot at a time and slide your palms beneath your feet so that your toes meet the back of your wrist. And then try it out. Root down, press your feet into your palms as you look forward. Exhale, head towards the space between each foot. Bend the elbows and knees to do that. The more you press your feet into your hands and at the same time pull your hands to the undersides of the feet, you'll notice new spaces to breathe into. Try it out. Explore. Be curious. How does it feel to breathe here? One more inhale and exhale. Head heavy. This is also an inversion, head lower than the heart. All right, we'll release the palms one at a time from beneath the feet. Come into that support, elbows on the top of the thighs. Look forward, inhale, and exhale here. Root down, rise up the feet to reach out wide, the arms circle out wide. Rinse the shoulders with that breath, and then exhale back to standing mountain pose. Pause, notice. All right, bring your hands to your hips now. Standing in Tadasana mountain pose. Feet are about hip distance. You can decide if they want to be wider or closer together. And turn your palms out so your thumbs reach out, your fingers point down. See if you can bring your hands to the very back of the body, the space behind the hips. Feet are pressing down, keep a little bend in the knees. And then feel that you're pressing your palms towards your lower back and just stay here for a gentle standing back bend. Elbows hug in closer together as though you're kissing your shoulder blades together in the back of the body. Maybe keep the gaze forward or look toward the sky. You can always reposition the hands to grab the elbows or the wrist or somewhere in between. Pressing the arms to the back of the body, feel the reach in your sternum, your breastbone. And if you'd like, again, maybe you're interlacing your fingers, reaching your knuckles back. Let's come into a fold now. Knuckles toward the sky, head heavy. Release the hands. Come into your chair pose, sit back, arms reach forward. Sink a little lower, exhale. And then listen up, guys. Bring your hands to your hips and come up partway to standing with hands on hips. Look down at your feet. Right foot solid, left foot like a kickstand. Look forward towards the front of the mat. Then inhale forward through your chest, lean forward. Exhale, we'll reach our left foot back, landing on the left shelf of toes. Inhale here in your high crescent lunge. Vertical spine, shoulders over the hips. Maybe there's a bend in the back knee, but keep that front knee forward in line with the front toes. You want to feel your hips as a reference point, your navel over your pubic bone. Your hips are side by side. Again, find the length through the sides of the body, the space between hips and shoulders. Hands can stay on the hips, or inhale, reach the arms up, again along the ears. Exhale, pull belly in. See if you can stay in this high crescent lunge. It's a balance challenge. Stay here if you like. Reach the heart forward through the gate of the arms. Maybe inhale, reach forward. And then exhale, reach the arms back. Do that a couple times if you'd like to flow with me. As you inhale, look for length in the spine, arms forward, skyward. And then exhale, lean back and reach the arms back. Shoulders pull away from the ears. Notice your weight distribution maybe changes as you reach the arms up. And as you exhale and lean into that front right foot. Good, now bring the hands down. Check it out, transition slowly. Reach that left leg further back, runner's lunge. Then we'll lower the back left knee to a low lunge. I advise a cushion beneath the knee, especially if you're on a hard tile floor. Maybe right foot can come further forward so that you're stacking the knee over the heel. And maybe a block is now a good way to rest the left hand and get a little bit more length, a little bit more lift. Right hand on right thigh, knee still forward. Feel the reach in the back left thigh. Maybe again you're getting a little bit more lift, a little bit more length with your left hand on a block or a support. Find what works for you. Breathe here. Again, finding that reach through the back left thigh, the back left leg. Feel it in the hips. Maybe stay. Or walk your right foot out a little wider. Turn the toes out diagonally, pointing the knee in the same direction as the toes. Take a peek. Feel it in the hip, the knee. If you've taken that foot out a little wider, you can stay here. Maybe you're lowering your left forearm or elbow onto your block. You can drop the right knee out further so that you're on the outer edge of the foot, lifting your inner edge off the mat. Stay here. Feel the reach in the hips, the back thigh. Maybe lift the back left foot. Pull the heel skyward, the toes reach down. It's important to try that out. You can stay or reach your right arm back, thumb down, and then see if you can make contact with your hand to foot. Maybe not, maybe just reaching in that direction. If you do make hand to foot contact, pull the heel in, but keep those toes pointing down. Another breath here, heart forward. Should feel the nice, smooth evenness of your breath. If you can't find that evenness, if it feels forced, find a different pose that works for you. Last breath here. Hug that heel in. Good. Now, if you did lift that left back heel, let it come down slowly, nice and easy. Bring that right front foot back in. Organize yourself. It's like cleaning house. Bring the knee back in line with the toes. Move your block out of your way. We'll again return to our runner's lunge. Lift the back left knee to do that and move your support out of your way. Runner's lunge, but then pop that back left foot in, maybe about a foot closer, much more closer to get that back foot on the mat. The heel pivots down. Take a peek. Your back left toes point towards the top left-hand corner of your mat. Toes forward. Now inhale, look forward. Exhale, reach the arms back. Notice your weight distribution. Root through your feet and rise up. Spine long, hands meet on hips. Front leg now, let's straighten it. Again, both feet are on the mat, the back heel, toes pointing forward. Now we want to square the hips. Maybe walk that right foot out wider towards the long right edge of your mat. Use your hips as a reference point. Hips are side by side, navel over your pubic bone. Good. Now once you've got your hips forward, then rebend that front right knee. Hands on hips, feel the hip points lift toward heart. Inhale. Exhale, reach to your tailbone, your lower back. And now this is a wonderful stretch for that back foot, the back leg. Maybe walk the right foot further forward to find a deeper stretch there. Hands on hips. Keep the spine long, heart forward. Inhale. If you like, maybe the arms reach up overhead. Stay in your Warrior One, Virabhadrasana. It's a powerful reach into that back leg. Feel it in the back left leg, the hip. Feel it all along the back left foot. Maybe the arms reach behind you. You can find a hand placement that works for you. Stay another breath if you can. Heart forward. Reach the shoulders away from the ears. All right, we'll come out of that. Lean into it, whatever hand position. Bring the hands back down. Reorganize so that you're back in your runner's lunge. Now the back heel is lifted once more. Plant the palms. Runner's lunge, it's a transition. Look forward. Inhale. Exhale, step back to high plank. Inhale, get organized in high plank. Stack shoulders over wrist. Then exhale, decide if you're going to keep the knees lifted or lowered. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale into cobra or upward facing dog. Heart forward. Exhale, use your knees or flip over your feet one at a time. Downward facing dog. Again, decide if you're going to stay here. Notice your breath, the backbone of your practice. If it feels rushed, lower the knees. Maybe in downward dog, you are taking your time to find a little bit of movement. Choose where you need to be. Find the breath that works for you. All right, back to downward dog. Meet here if you're not already. Walk your dog, bending one knee at a time. Hands are fully planted. Take your next inhale now. Bend the knees. Look forward toward your hands. Again, notice which foot leads, maybe switch sides. Noticing your tendencies, your unconscious habits. Come back to a forward fold. Again, hand placement's up to you. Maybe this time reach the arms around behind you, interlace the fingers, reach the knuckles toward the sky. Try this out if you'd like. Bend your left knee only and look toward your right shoulder. So left knee bent, but stomp into your right foot. The more you press into the right foot, the more you'll feel it through the back of the right leg, maybe even into the right hip. And keep looking towards that right shoulder. Play around here with knuckles reaching away from the head towards the ceiling. Good, we'll come back through center and we'll switch sides. This time bend your right knee and look toward your left shoulder. So right knee deeply bent, we've switched sides. Stomp into your left foot, pedal to the metal. Feel the reach in the left leg. Again, stay a couple breaths if you can, reaching into the left hip, the back of the left leg. Should feel wonderful here. Find a pose, a variation that works for you. All right, come back through center, both knees bent. Come into your chair pose. Maybe support for a moment with the elbows on the top of the thighs. Sit back even further. Bring your seat towards the earth. Circle the arms out. Feel the same reach with the feet. Come up to standing. Thumbs toward brow, lips, and heart. Pause in Tadasana. Shoulders move away from the ears. All right. Again, we'll come through our flow. Inhale, circle the arms up, lift the heart. Exhale, stay standing, reach the arms behind you. Inhale, lift your heart, and exhale, lead with that space. Come into your fold. Come into your chair pose now. Sink the heels, reach the arms forward, maybe along the ears, sit back. All right, come up part way, bring the hands to the hips. Look down at your feet. We'll switch sides. So our left foot planted, right toes kickstand. Find a focal point, a fixed spot with your eyes. Lean forward with your chest. Take an inhale. Hands on hips. Exhale, reach back with your right foot landing on the shelf of the toes. Come up to standing vertical spine, ears, shoulders, hips stacked. Hands stay on the hips for a breath or two. Maybe that right knee has more of a bend. Play around here. More optimal reach as you do. Left foot can come further, knee stacks over the heel. Keep the reach of your navel over your pubic bone, your hips side by side. Notice the space between your pelvic region, the pelvic floor, and the underside of the chin. Get some length with the inhale. Maybe the arms reach along the ears. Stay for a few breaths. Keep reaching into that front left knee. Back right heel stays lifted, high crescent lunge. If you like, reach the arms forward, inhale, and back, leaning over front thigh as you reach the arms behind you. A couple times here. Inhale, arms skyward. Notice your weight distribution changes as you exhale, lean into that front left thigh. This is a great reach into the hips. Feel that focal point there. You're hinging at the hips. Keep reaching into the back leg. Another breath or two here. If you like, the arms can again reach back behind you, staying at the hips, grabbing the elbows or wrist or anywhere in between. We'll come out of that slowly, arms reach back and then forward so that they are now on the mat. Okay, runner's lunge. Take cushion for the back right knee as you lower the knee. Take position with that left foot further forward, stacking the knee over the heel. Take a moment here, knee points in the same direction as the left toes. You want length in the back right thigh. You're not on the kneecap, you're on the fleshy part right above it. Use extra cushion if you need to. Maybe you don't have a block, but you want more length in the spine. Bring your forearms onto that front left thigh. Reach more into the front of the body, the chest forward. Feel it in the back right thigh. Take another breath here. Decide if you want to stay. Or walk your left foot out wider into a lizard lunge. Right hand could be a fist as you rest your left hand on left thigh. Maybe you're using a block beneath it. A little bit more height that way, a little bit more reach through the chest if you can stack your hand on a little bit of a height, a little bit more of a support. You can drop the left knee out. Maybe again you're on the outer edge of the left foot. Decide if you're going to stay here. Chest forward. Or lift the back right foot but pull the toes down, heels skyward. Again, that's an important concept here to protect the ankle, the knee. Left hand can reach back if you'd like. Thumb down, palm spins away. Maybe make contact if you can, or you're just reaching if that feels more accessible to you. You can lower the right forearm onto a block. Stay here for a few breaths. Keep pressing your chest, your sternum forward. Maybe you're looking more skyward. Pull the belly in. Toes pull down towards the mat, towards the earth. Let it come down nice and slowly. We're going to come back up. Move your support out of your way. Again, it's like cleaning house. Bring everything back in, organize. Left foot comes back in so that the knee lines up with the toes. Toes are pointing forward. Lift the back knee, and then we're going to pop the back right foot in significantly so we can pivot and plant the back right heel. Take a peek. This is a great little trick. Your big right toe lines up with the top right-hand corner of your mat. Toes are forward. Now keep that front knee bent. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, reach the arms back. And then inhale, come all the way at vertical reach of the spine. Hands on hips, straighten the front left leg. Let's organize ourselves to get more out of our Virabhadrasana. We want to square the hips forward. Maybe take that left leg out a little wider. The feet don't have to be on a tight rope. There could be more width between them. Organize yourself here. Hips forward. Then once you've got that action happening, rebend the front left knee. Adjust the foot if you need to, pointing the knee forward, toes forward, but keep pressing strongly into the back right heel. That's the action, guys. Feel it in the back right leg, the hip. Find that length between your pelvic region and your chin. The sides of the body have length. Maybe the arms join in. Inhale, reach the arms skyward. Pull the belly in as you stay in your Warrior One, Virabhadrasana. Such a great pose. Really play around. Make sure those hips are forward, toes point forward. If you like to, the arms can continue to reach up or take them back behind you. Any hand position that works. Shoulders pull away from the ears. Take another breath here. Keep the front knee bent. Keep anchoring through the back right heel. Nice, guys. Release the hands. Maybe bring them to your center. Stay another breath here. Notice your breath quality. Breathing and head space are always available to you. We'll come out of that now slowly. Arms reach up, inhale. Exhale, come back with that fold, hands on either side of front foot. Again, organize, runner's lunge. Back heel now lifted. Take an inhale, move slowly and mindfully through these transitions Exhale, step back and meet in high plank. Organize yourself here. There's no perfection. We are always looking to progress slowly and mindfully. Again, you can lower the knees, come into cobra with the elbows bent back, or upward dog with the arms finding more reach, more length. Meet your way, maybe through cobra or downward dog, in a pause to find child's pose. Upward dog to downward dog. Decide what works for you. And then everyone, I'm going to invite you to lower back down and come into a seated pose. Pause here. Return to your breath. Maybe you're kneeling with hands on your center. Again, breathing and head space are always available to you. Find your breath. You must continually remind yourself of your breath capacity. Now, a block is really nice here. You can try that out. Find it beneath your seat. Knees are bent, pointing forward, maybe about 2 fists width between each knee. You're squeezing the knees in, even the inner ankles, toward the block. Toes point back. Stack the shoulders over the hips. Find that length through the sides of the body, from the pelvic floor to the space beneath the chin. Pause here. Now you can absolutely stay here, resting your hands on your center once more. Come back to that smooth breath in and out through the nose. We're going to be moving through a back bend. You're welcome to stay here if you prefer. Feel the reach of the top of the thighs. There should be no pain in the lower back or the knees. Maybe you're moving with me. So keep that block between the inner edges of the feet, but come up to stand on your knees. Yeah? You're still pressing your knees, inner edges together, the inner edges of the ankles together. Maybe you're tucking the toes and resting them on your block. A little bit more height now for the heels. Stack ears, shoulders, and hips over the knees. And then remember the hands on the hips. Take a moment here and turn your thumbs out, fingers down, like you're sliding your palms into the pocket of the back of your jeans. Press your palms forward, your hips forward, feeling through the top of the thighs, heart forward as well. Elbows are bent and hugging in. Lift your heart, look towards the sky if you like. This is a wonderful back bend. You can keep the chin closer to the chest if that feels better. Maybe you're reaching your arms further back. You can interlace the fingers and reach your knuckles towards your heels. Maybe, if your hands don't have too far to go, you're resting your palms on your heels and lifting your heart towards the sky. This should feel awesome. Again, no pain in the lower back. Squeeze your inner thighs, heart forward. Even imagine you're squeezing your elbows, your shoulders together at the back of the body. Another breath or two here in your camel pose. A beautiful back bend to counteract all of the forward folding we do in our oftentimes as we sit too long during our day. Now you can come out of that slowly, release your toes from that block, and again have a seat on your support. Pause here. Gather feedback. Deep breath in, slow breath out. Okay, we'll come into our camel pose, our back bend one more time. You can decide to skip it. Maybe again bring your toes onto the block. Or tuck the toes but keep them on the mat, still using your block as a way to hug the inner edges of the feet together. Again, slide your fingers like you're bringing them into the back pocket of your jeans. Thumbs out, fingers down. Press the back of the hips forward. You can always position the hands in a different way, finding a hand placement that works. Or again, reach the hands to rest on your heels. Camel pose is super important to squeeze the inner edges of the knees, the thighs together. Feel the reach of the heart. Maybe your chin wants to come in closer towards the chest. Decide if that works for you. Should be no pain in the back of the neck, the lower back. There should be lots of space to breathe. Another breath or two here. Again, this is a great way to counteract the forwardness that we do when we sit too often. Come out of that slowly. Use your core to help you. Unhook your toes and have a seat. Pause. Notice if you're feeling any different from when you first began the practice. Okay, we'll move our support out of our way. Come back up to hands and knees on our mat. Walk the knees further back and lower onto your belly. Once you're here, support yourself here with the stacking of your palms and rest your forehead on your palm pillow. Maybe you're lifting your heels and reaching your heels from side to side with those knees bent. Pull the toes back and forth. And again, just notice the reach of your toes down towards the mat, towards your knees, heels towards the sky. That's an important aspect here, as we're going to take a different variation of our back bend. You can reach the arms back, maybe grab hold of elbows. You have the option of lowering the legs and just feeling the reach in the front body, the chest, the shoulders lift, but keep the back of the neck neutral. Maybe again, bend the knees, heels toward the sky, toes point down. If it's available, reach the arms around to grab the outer ankles. And then come into your bow pose, again a back bend to counteract sitting. Press your heels to the sky, lift your thighs, your shoulders are lifted. Keep the back of the neck neutral. Again, toes pull down, heels reaching up. Use your reach of your hands to pull the heels closer to you, but keep squeezing your knees, your inner thighs together. One more beautiful breath here. You're balancing on the belly, the bottom of the rib cage, and your pubic bone. This should feel awesome. Notice the effects of the practice as you slowly release your legs, your arms. Again, rest your head on the palms. Rest your head. Come back to your breath. Notice the effects of those back bends. Gather some feedback. Come back to your center. If you like, you can always again bend the knees and just windshield wiper the feet from side to side. Now we're going to slowly release the legs. Notice the rise and the fall of your belly against the earth. We'll come out of that slowly, release the hands near the sides of the rib cage, tuck toes under, and then pull back into a slow, luxurious reach into the base of the spine in child's pose. You can press the palms forward, toes can remain tucked under. Maybe you're finding more reach, knees wider, toes untucked. Stack your forearms this time and rest your forehead there. Several deep breaths. See if you can stay here. Continually remind yourself of your breath capacity. Notice your thoughts as they come and go. Notice how slowing down your breathing affects your thoughts and the frequency in which they move through your mind.